Hey guys, Jonathan here. So I am back. First of all, I want to apologize for uh, totally ruining my 30-day challenge. Um, I went to New York and I really didn't realize that it's almost impossible to record anything while you're in New York. I have some pictures and some videos and stuff that I'll upload later on in a standalone video, but it really wasn't any kind of vlog or video or anything like that that pertained to my 30-day challenge. However, this video does pertain to my 30-day challenge. And actually, when I got back home, I really started thinking a lot about um, a specific topic that kept coming back to me, which was homelessness and being able to come home to something and just other people that are going through the same struggle as me. So I have a friend of mine that kind of is going through a struggle similar to mine, lived off his savings. He's kind of going down in an incline. And I think that's how I was a few months ago. So I really wanted to touch on that. Now, I know that these videos are kind of boring and stuff, and if you don't want to listen to them, that's fine. I don't care. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to grow this channel, and I want people to understand who I am as a person. I don't want to grow a channel, be fake, and then people want to get to know me. I want them to be able to go back and say, well, this is where he started, this is what he is, and this is what he thinks. I don't want my mind to be kind of changed by the amount of viewers or subscribers and stuff, because I do plan on bringing amazing content. I do plan on bringing amazing stuff to YouTube. So I know it's going to be good, and I don't want to fall into the, okay, we'll not have to be fake. Well, no, this is my time to not be fake. So if you want to listen to it, then that's great. And hopefully some of these things in this video or some of the other videos will help you too. So the first thing I want to talk about was, for those of you, if I haven't mentioned it already, I used to live in Miami, Florida, and I moved up here to the DMV area, so Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. I moved up here because I got a job opportunity, and I only applied for the job opportunity because I started kind of dating someone who was a friend. Long story short, that didn't work out. Now, this threw me into a spiral of homelessness in a very interesting way that I never thought. I moved over here March 8th, 2 days before my birthday, and it was great and everything was fine. But I was in the middle of getting another job offer, and I wanted to take that one versus the one that I originally came with. And I was staying with a friend that I helped move, a friend that I helped with everything on the way up here. And so to this day, it gets me really emotional. I built that guy's bed. I did a lot for him, and I feel like he did shit for me. But whatever, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and the choices that I made. Well, I came with my savings. I was already living off of my savings for a long time because it took almost 6-7 months between the time that I was closing my office to the move and this and that. So I was living off of my savings for quite some time. Now, I was not planning on moving until around April. I was going to go back to Miami, finish some unfinished business that I had, and I was going to come up with a good chunk of money. Well, I ended up getting the job offer earlier, ended up saying, shit, I'm going to take it. I can't say no. That's exactly what I did. Well, this guy freaks out on me, and he's like, oh, I don't know what you're going to do, so on and so forth. Mind you, we've been friends for a few months now. I stayed at his house all the time. We were friends. We were cool. We traveled up here together, stayed in a hotel together. We were friends. I would consider him a friend. He's like, oh, my roommate has people coming over from New York. You need to go. You need to find a place. So I'm like, fuck, okay. Well, of course, everything happens at the same time. My phone broke. I had to choose between buying a phone and getting a place, having to find both, having to do an Airbnb situation. And dude, it cost so much money. I thought I was going to stay at an Airbnb. The Airbnb ended up being terrible. So I ended up staying at a worse place. I ended up at a hostel. I was able to afford, I think, a week or two in there. And then kind of went downhill from there. Then I saw myself staying in Motel 6s, depending on where I was teaching. I would just kind of stay at a Motel 6. There were some nights that I didn't even have money for it. My best friend, Priscilla, helped me a lot through this time because you don't know what, like, you don't know what it feels like to know that you have somewhere to go. And I knew I could go back to Miami, but I grew up having almost everything, not more than I needed, but enough. And you realize who the fuck your friends are when shit like this happens. And I know I hinted at it the other day about like being homeless and brushing your teeth at a Starbucks and stuff, but it really gives me a different take on people who are homeless, because you don't have to be an idiot to be homeless. You don't have to be undereducated to be homeless. You don't have to be doing drugs to be homeless. Because when I moved up here, I have been at the best that I have ever been. I wasn't doing any drugs. I wasn't even drinking. I wasn't doing anything. My life was at the best that it's ever been. I was doing what I needed to do. I was hustling to find myself without a place to live, going from motel to motel. I did stay on the street a few times, in my car, in a parking garage at a Walmart. There were some nights that I just couldn't. There were nights that I needed to shower, and Priscilla helped me with those nights. She sent me money. My mom sent me money sometimes. It was hard. It was really, really, really hard to find yourself, in those situations. And to the people who have gone through that or are going through that, there's opportunities. Just don't give up. Don't let it be the end of you. Realize that you are not the only person that's gone through it. And I wish that homelessness was not an option for anyone, but it is sometimes a product of misfortune and just the situation and the circumstance. I got kicked out of a place, not for doing anything bad, but because the guy couldn't handle being my friend, couldn't understand that there were some things that I didn't feel like I needed to tell him, and that, he brought me into this huge spiral, and it's fine. And of course I never forgave him for it, because I realized day in and day out that he only cared about himself. And to find myself in that situation, it really sucked. However, I thought I was about to start crying, so thank God I didn't. Don't give up. You can do it. Find your passion, find your goals, find your life. That's why I find myself, I have a career. I have, I'm working somewhere, and I love it. I love what I do, but I wouldn't say that I love who I'm doing it for, and that's the most difficult part. I'm fine for now, and I really hoped that things will change. They may or may not. I don't know if they're going to change or not, but if they do, that's great, and if they don't, well, time will only tell what happens. Don't give up on what your dreams are. YouTube has always been a dream of mine, and not because I want to be famous or anything like that, but because I think that it's a way to target people and market people and reach people. And by target and market and reach, I don't mean, I want to sell you something, because I don't need YouTube to sell you something. I'm a great salesperson. I can do it in person. YouTube for me is marketing to the people who are going through what I'm going through, who have gone through what I've gone through, who have so much potential but can't see it. I know where I'm going to be in the future. I know where I envision myself, and I know where I'm going. And I know it's somewhere amazing, and I know it's somewhere grand, and I know it's somewhere where I'm going to make a difference in people's lives. But I want to always stay humble. And if there's one thing that I did with this 30-day challenge is I want to always be myself. And I want to make sure that I can look back at these videos and say, this is who you are, and don't let anyone in the future change that. Please love yourself, love what you're doing. Don't be scared to take risks. Do not be afraid to make a decision based on what your heart is telling you, because sometimes it's better to listen to your heart than listen to your brain. And I understand that might be difficult for some of you to understand, but every decision that I've ever made that has worked out for me, I've made with my heart. The ones I thought too much on ended up getting screwed over. So, homelessness, sleeping in a car, not knowing where to go the next day, just thinking about showering, and how ungrateful I am, and how I've been to just waste water and stuff like that. The fact that I didn't know what I was going to eat next. The fact that I didn't have, whatever money I did have was just enough to buy a hotel room for a night. I had to think of what parking lots I could park in that it wouldn't be weird or I'd get arrested or towed or anything like that. if you're going through that situation, there are resources, and I didn't find any of them. So if you guys are going through that situation, I do understand how hard it is to find a resource. I know how hard it is to say, hey, I called tons of homeless shelters. You have no idea. I called shelter after shelter after shelter. None of them could help. I did receive government assistance just for food stamps, so I was very, very fortunate because I didn't have money to even buy food. So I did get it for 6 months, and then luckily I got a job, and I can now say I don't qualify for it anymore, and it was amazing to say I don't qualify for food stamps. And it was a scary situation, and I've never been more grateful to say that I don't qualify for food stamps because I actually needed them, and I got them when I needed them, and it was amazing. But look for your resources. Please don't be afraid to ask people. I know that it sounds crazy, and it's so hard for me to ask a friend or a family member. And honestly, I would say that I rarely even asked any of my family members. I asked my mom, and I never had to ask Priscilla. She just kind of volunteered it, and it's just been really hard to thank people for it and talk about it because I just never saw myself going through that. I really didn't. And I know, I don't think people understand exactly what I went through. I know that I talk about it and, I laugh about it because that's my coping mechanism. I laugh about shit like that because I didn't want it to be real, but it was real. It was scary. And just the thought of failure, of having to move back to Florida and embarrass myself in front of my friends and my family and say I didn't make it was terrifying to me. So to have someone that loves you as much, bro, this girl was going through her own shit. Her own fucking shit she was going through. And she was able to help me, and she took time to do it. And I can't repay her for that. Like, I really can't. And I fight with her, and I argue with her, and I love her to death. But this girl has shown to me more than anyone in this world what it is to be a best friend. And I keep crying because I have her picture here, so it keeps looking at me, and I just keep crying. But I'm gonna end this video because I can go on forever and just cry and cry and cry. So shit happens, guys. If you're going through this, reach out to me. I may not be able to send you money, but I may be able to look for resources. I don't know. I'll figure something out. If you are going through this, if you have gone through this, how did you make it through? Like, what did you do? Are you out of it? Like, what's going on? It's just, I want to make sure that people don't go through shit like this anymore. If there's anyone that is interested in, I'm going to make that a whole different video. There's something that I've always wanted to do, which is collab with someone, not collab and make a video, but or make a video, I don't care. And help people, find homeless shelters and stuff, and actually collect food for homeless shelters, and see what they need, because I can't tell you how many shelters I called and no one could host me. And that's scary. You would think that they would have space, but that tells you how many homeless people there are out there. So I appreciate your time. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Subscribe, and leave some thoughts in the comments below. And hopefully in the next 30 days, we're going to get some awesome beauty content coming up, and less depressing stuff about Jonathan and crying and stuff. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Bye.